Hello and welcome to World Talks on TVP World with me, Ashim Kumar. EU leaders have approved a 19th sanctions package against Russia, including a phased ban on Russian LNG and plans to end all gas imports by 2028. At the same time, Europe is debating whether to use frozen Russian assets to fund Ukraine's reconstruction, with tensions rising ahead of a delayed Trump-Putin summit and growing transatlantic uncertainty. We ask how these decisions shape Kyiv's future. Joining us is Oleksiy Goncharenko. He's a Ukrainian member of parliament and a regular contributor. Oleksiy, welcome back. Good to see you.
Hello.
So let's start with the 19th package of sanctions. Your thoughts?
First of all, I want to thank our European partners for a new package of sanctions. And there are serious things. Shadow fleet I would place on the first place. Secondly, I would speak about decision to stop buying any Russian gas, including liquefied, till the end of 2027. It's 2027. It's 2 years more, but it will gradually will go down and down. So definitely, always we want more, but this is a serious package of sanctions, and combined with American sanctions against Lukoil and Rosneft, Russian oil biggest companies, oil producers, it is already very, very serious. So I hope that will make a difference.
Yes, well, I think many would agree with you there, Oleksiy. The thing is, though, as you say, the ban on liquefied natural gas is not going to actually take effect until the end of 2027. That's 2 years. And that's plenty of time for Russia to find ways around these sanctions. Would you prefer it to have happened sooner?
Definitely. I would prefer it to happen yesterday. But we are where we are, and there are some realities, and it will take some time for Europe to completely stop buying Russian gas. Unfortunately, I think these 3.5 years of Russian full-scale invasion could be used better by Europe to get rid of Russian gas. So it took probably too much time. But again, we are where we are. But in any way, there's steps in right direction.
Indeed. Now, there are, of course, certain challenges amongst EU countries. I'm thinking of Hungary and Slovakia, who have been quite stubborn when it comes to weaning themselves off Russian oil and gas. What's the view in Ukraine generally about those two countries and how they are reacting to this challenge?
There is a conflict between Ukraine and Prime Minister Orban, Hungarian Prime Minister, and not just between Ukraine, I think between Brussels and Hungarian Prime Minister too. So there is a lot of questions towards Hungarian Prime Minister. We're looking forward to what will happen next year and next April during the elections in Hungary. Speaking about Slovakia, yes, they want to continue to buy Russian gas and oil for the moment, but at least Slovakia is not stopping Ukrainian Euro integration. So Slovakia doesn't act so badly as Hungary does. So there is a difference, and I hope that European Union countries will find the way to stop this blackmailing from Orban.
Okay, now moving on, the European Council is meeting and trying to find a way through to release those frozen Russian assets to Ukraine. We're talking about 140 billion euros. What have you heard about the stage of those conversations?
We're following closely. We're hoping that political decision will be made during these several days by European countries and Belgium, which hosts the biggest amount of Russian frozen assets, Euroclear. So this is a super important issue. because without this money, we just can't buy weapons. Today, United States is not providing weapons to Ukraine free of charge, like it was before by President Biden administration. So now we need to buy it. To buy it, we need money. So this is the main source. Yeah, these money, these Russian frozen assets. So also, it is a very bad signal that still they are not seized, because sooner or later Russia will start to demand this money back or something like this. So it's better to end this story, to put a dot in the end of this statement that Russian frozen assets are seized, dot, period. So now they will be used to stop Russia from attacking Ukraine and Europe. So I think this is the right decision to make. I hope it will be made in the nearest days or weeks.
Right. So, I mean, Russia's facing, of course, European sanctions. You've already mentioned the American sanctions on Rosneft and Lukoil. And now Russia is also facing the loss of its sovereign assets. In response, Russia is releasing videos of nuclear exercises or exercises with nuclear missiles being fired and so on. How seriously should these be taken?
It's Russian saber rattling with the nukes. It's the usual tactics when they are really cornered. So it shows first Putin called Trump, trying to stop delivery of Tomahawks and new sanctions, and he failed because there is new sanctions. There is no Tomahawks, but there is new sanctions. So this is important. And now Russia started just to threaten the world again with nukes, but it's an empty threat. Putin, as we heard from conversation between Putin and Chairman Xi, they want to live up to 150 years, which will not happen definitely if he will go nukes.
Well, I think there's probably some truth in what you say, Oleksiy. I have a short soundbite of what President Zelensky actually said in Brussels. I think that's coming up now.
Result of this meeting, we have sanctions on Russian energy. We don't have meeting in Hungary without Ukraine. And we have not yet Tomahawks. That's it. This is the result. I think not bad. We will see. I don't know, really. Each day brings something. I don't know, maybe tomorrow, I don't know. We will have Tomahawks. I don't know. I don't. Thank you so much.
Now, President Trump cancelled the meeting he was supposed to have with Putin in Budapest. And President Trump has said that, well, he didn't think that anything was going to come of it, so there was no point really. It's an indication, perhaps, that he's moving away from Putin's stubbornness in the way he's conducting the war. Do you think that might bring him closer to giving Ukraine Tomahawks?
I think so. I think that Trump clearly sees now that the only obstacle to peace is Putin, that red carpets do not work with him, that threats do work with him. But what will even better work with him, not just threats, but realization of these threats. So we don't need Tomahawks like themselves. We need peace in Ukraine as soon as possible. But if Putin will not agree on negotiations, and we see now that he is rejecting Trump's proposal of meeting in Budapest, in finding peace solution, in stopping the killing, in this case, I think sooner or later, we will need to use a real force, Tomahawks, for example, to show Russia that United States and the West is serious enough. Without this, probably there will be no result. Well, that's how I feel.
Yes, I mean, and it's not just Tomahawks. I mean, Ukraine has recently entered into a deal to buy 160, I believe, Swedish Gripen fighter jets. How long before those things come online and they're actually up in the air over Ukraine?
It's a long time ahead. I mean, I definitely welcome this deal with Sweden. I want to see Grippins in Ukrainian air forces. This is a great aircraft, but it will not be quickly. We clearly understand this. So it will take time, and it will take long time before that will be enough of them, many of them. So that is something about future security guarantees for Ukraine and Europe. But for the moment, we need to count on different things.
Yes, I mean, obviously this transaction, this deal is going to be spread over 3 years. But what happened with the F-16s, which where the pilots were trained? Are they on regular runs now? I'm sure the Ukrainian pilots are familiar with those now.
Yeah, Ukraine uses F-16s. As I understand, almost every day. I am not inside military operations, so I don't know all the details. But Ukraine is actively using F-16s, and quite effectively, from what I know.
Right. So overall, is there a mood of optimism in Ukraine? I mean, you've got the fighter jets, you've got the sanctions, and the possible release of frozen assets. How's that being taken on the street?
Definitely it gives hope, but at the same time we have winter coming, we have everyday Russian attacks, we have everyday Russian attacks on the front line and in the rear, attacks against Ukrainian civilian infrastructure. That would be super difficult winter. We are saying this every year, but probably this year it finally will be really super difficult. So there are many threats, but we are committed to fight. We don't have any other option. We want peace. But if Putin will not agree to stop killing now, if he will not agree to stop killing where we are now, so on the lines that are present today, then we will fight. And we don't have any other option, and Europe too. So we should be prepared.
Understood. Oleksiy Goncharenko, unfortunately, we're going to have to end our conversation there, but thank you, as always, for sharing your analysis with our audience, and stay safe. Good night.
Thank you very much.
And that brings us to the end of this episode of World Talks. But as always, don't go away, lots more coming up. Goodbye.